Alright, so on to the next part. We're going to be working our X guard sweeps. We're going to try to keep it simple with the concept of keeping their hands on the mat. That's going to have us wrestling up. If they're postured up, we're going to be tilting back. So what that looks like with our opponent standing here, starting with the ashigarami position. This is not an effective position to work for sweeps. Yes, they're sweeping here, but it's very easy for them to take this heel off. Okay, go ahead and pull the heel off. And start to crush me because there's weight into this leg. Right? So what we need to do is we need to start shifting weight to this far leg and getting this leg up on our shoulder line. All right, because if he can bend this leg here, go ahead and try to drive this knee down, kick your leg back as well. That's when I'm starting to get crushed. I can start to do a lot of fancy stuff to reopen this, but it's mechanically not sound. It's too strong here. All right? So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to get weight to this leg. But how do we do that here? First, it's going to be our inside leg. So we're going to start to push and kick towards this far knee. And as you see, that made him open his base up. His weight is already distributing a little bit off of this leg. I'm going to have an ankle lock grip, and I'm going to pummel my heel from his hip, and I'm going to start to get like a shoelace hook on his far leg here. This makes a bar between his hips. I'm not kicking this leg through, or he's effectively past my guard. All right. So now, as you see, this leg is really heavy. I can't get it up on my shoulder, so I need to get his weight to his hands. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my legs. I'm going to start to lift and kick in this direction. My shoulders and my hips are rotating down. Okay? Just like this. Come back. If you try to just use your legs, as you see, he's still able to base. As soon as I turn my shoulders and hips down, that's where his weight goes. Okay? And now as you see, this leg is nice and light. All right? But he still can curl it back and start to flatten me out here. So I need this up on my shoulder immediately. I'm going to use my free hand to grab it in whatever way seems best for you. Pummel this through and shelf the leg on my shoulder. I like to grab the knee pit, pulling my elbow down, because for him to turn and do the running man escape now, he needs to turn his kneecap. This makes it a little bit more difficult here. Now we are in a full X guard, and our first sweep is going to be wrestling up here. All right. Technical, your standard technical stand up here is using the hip side leg, but I have a hard time getting up to my elbow personally, and I feel like if you use this other leg, you can extend more. So I use my hip side leg, and I drive my heel into the back of his knee, and I fully extend my leg here. If you have any bend in the leg here, he's going to use a free hand to pull my leg forward, and now he's going to back step and pass my arm. If you extend this like this, you see his locked out trying to pull through, and it catches him to the back of his knee. All right? I need you all to really keep that knee extended the whole time. I'm going to push off of his knee, and I'm going to extend my spine away. That way I can come up to my elbow in whatever way possible. Now I'm going to build up to a hand. All right? Now from here, the difficulty with using the back leg position into the far leg is that you got to kind of invert this knee. And the way I'm going to do that, just like with our Sumigashis, I'm pushing off of the mat with my foot off of my knee, lifting to here. Okay? And now from here, I'm going to build a strong base immediately. Hips, spine, head are all up. If you stay down low here, he's going to try to push my back to the mat, try to push into me like a push-up position, push me back. Very difficult for me to push forward. If I'm like this, do the same thing. From here, I can look to stand up. Your opponent has two options now. He's either going to stay in the tripod position, and we're going to work to the back body lock, or he's going to decide that guard is a better position, and he's going to roll either direction. But he's going to land on a hip. Go ahead and do that. So I see. Here, come back up, or roll the other way. There you go. And then you're working your pass. Go back to the tripod, please. We need to get to the hips here. I'm not going to let go and just grab. I'm going to pull. This leg is going to stay on the outside. Your hips are going to be this way. Turn in. Pull. Now you're working your wrestling. Okay? So those are your two options from the wrestle up. That requires you to have their hands on the mat. So we're looking to drive their weights into their hands the whole time. That way we can easily technically stand up. But what if we're here and we're having a hard time wrestling up? Trying to wrestle up here, but he's really pushing back into me and I can't get it. I just can't get the position to stand up. What we're going to do is work the tilt back. Alright? When I'm going to do that, I still have this bar across his hip. Instead of pushing into the back of his knee or hooking here, he's going to start to posture up. As soon as he's postured up, this leg is going to go from his knee down to his Achilles. Okay? I'm going to rotate everything backwards, pulling his kneecap, rotating my shoulders, rotating my hips, sweeping here. Okay? I'm going to use this hook to feed this to a V grip. And now I'm going to look for Turkish get up. Alright? Don't bend your arm here. Keep it straight. Technically stand up. Start to drive to the far shoulder here. Okay? We'll go over more details with that later on. So that's if they posture up. We're always trying to wrestle. Sometimes they can posture up. The best time to hit it is during the movement of them posturing up. Okay, so we're here. He's starting to stand up. Just like that. Okay? Now, I'm going to show that. I know it's going a little quick, but I'm going to show where you can hit that in a middle position. So we started with the Ashley Grammy. We worked all the way to X guard, but as you see, as soon as we're transitioning to X guard, we're in this like middle position here, where I don't have the legs shelved, right? I need the legs shelved so that he doesn't crush me. So to prevent the crush, and you can go for this first before you go for the full X guard, you can literally just drop your hook from his knee to here, to that, same thing, feed it to this V grip here, start the technical stand up, lean into this, push it to the far shoulder, and from here, start to settle in north-south. Okay, so we show that again, and then I'll show what the series looks like as a whole. So here, Ashley Grammy, this isn't good enough. Start to open their base up. Here's the middle position, where I have an Achilles grip. I'm kicking away. He's posturing in, doing something. I don't want him postured up because he can start to grab my legs and pull them through and work his defense. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to do a tilt sweep. Dropping here, tilting back, feeding me. Back up, please. So what this can look like as a combination is we started in Ashley Grammy, drop down to here, kick him out, let's try to do the tilt sweep. His balance is really good, so he's coming forward. I'm going to overcompensate him down to the mat, shelf the leg, look to wrestle up. He's beating the wrestle up, coming back. Working tilt sweep. Okay? Try to work those three moves as a combination, all right? Look at it as a boxing combination, not as hate makers, okay? You're not going to do 1, 2, 3, get it every single time. You're going to need to rotate through those. And what you need to maintain all these positions is that inside positioning with your legs, okay? Thank you.